Well, hello, everybody out there in Radio Land and all across the world. Thank you so much for joining us for a special performance with Bahamas. Right here at Metro Baltimore in the heart of the greatest city in America. And it's all happening today on Public Radio Music Day 2025. This event tonight is brought to you in part by Goose Island Beer Company, the Non-Com Music Alliance, which is the driving force behind Public Radio Music Day, which is a nationwide celebration uniting public radio stations, lawmakers, fans, and other folks joining us in the music industry. And it's all about spreading the word about the special role non-commercial stations play in the music industry, both locally and nationally. And, you know, public media is in a tough spot right now. We actually got great news recently that the CPB is going to help cover music licensing fees for the next 2 years for public media stations. So they got it together for us, and that is a big sigh of relief. But the thing is that we still need listener support. You know, we've grown the WTMD family quite a bit over the last couple fund drives that we've had, but, you know, we're always working to be 100% listener supported. So when, you know, these times come, as they did this year, we can be prepared and rely on you to support this station and show us how much it means to you out in the community. So you can always support WTMD at WTMD.org/donate. So again, please welcome to Baltimore, Afie Jurvanen.
Wow. Now you know why I'm called Bahamas.
So Afie is Bahamas. Bahamas is Afie, like the album says. And his new release is out now. It is a wonderful listen all the way through. It's his 7th album overall, studio album. It's called My Second Last Album, which, as a fan, Afie, I really hope that's not true, but I get it. But that is out now on Brushfire Records, his longtime label, founded by Jack Johnson, and you know he fits perfectly on that label. The vibe is always great on a Bahamas record. So, Afie, thanks again for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you.
We're gonna do a bunch of music today since it's Public Radio Music Day after all.
I mean, we could do some music. I don't know if you want to. I don't know. I mean, we're here. We may as well, right?
Well, I would love it. I'm sure this wonderful crowd here in Baltimore would. And, you know, wherever you're tuning in from today, thank you so much for getting your eyes and ears on this really special performance. So take it away, Afie.
Right on. Thanks so much for having me. Drugs don't do what they did before. I had my fill and I still want more. So I'm sneaking out my own back door. 'Cause the drugs don't do what they did before. I'm searching for now to ease my mind. Gets harder and harder all of the time. I tried cold beer and I tried French wine, all searching for to ease my mind. Ain't no way I could stay stoned the rest of my days. I could stop now, we can call it a phase. Only one thing that I know for sure is the drugs don't do me no good no more. Slow down now, I stay with my kids. Found a brand new way to get my fix. I leave the bottle alone and I drink straight mix. Yeah, I still have fun, I just don't get sick. Ain't no way I could stay stoned the rest of my days. I can stop now, we can call it a phase, yeah. Only one thing that I know for sure is the drugs don't do me no good no more. No, those drugs don't do me no good no more. Right on, thanks so much. Sorry to start on such a bummer note, but I don't know, it just came to me in the moment. Yeah, so I got a new album, and maybe I'll do a tune from that now. I used to tour so much solo, and mostly just for economic reasons. I couldn't afford a band. I had a Subaru Forester, phenomenal manual transmission. It was, you could take the key right out of the ignition and the car would keep running. I had to stall the car to stop it. It was, but anyway, I toured a lot in that particular vehicle, just by myself, and did a lot of touring through Europe and stuff. And then I didn't really do that for about 10 or 15 years. You know, I'm fortunate to play with so many wonderful musicians, but here I am all by myself, and I'll tell you, the pressure is on. I don't know if there's people from the music industry here tonight. I might get signed to an exploitative record deal or something like that. You know, I want to really do well here in front of you. Never knew me, you only looked right through me. I was standing right in front of your eyes. How can you hear me if you're never ever near me? The traveling all only some disguise. I watch you fill up every minute of every single day. I got the meaning, so quit screaming. I hear every word you say. And I know it ain't all roses, and you're wondering what's around. So before the window closes, leave the country for the town. I've seen it all, and yeah, I really had a ball. Maybe now I'll do something else. Played all the bars and met movie stars, and did it all without losing myself. Yeah, I should do the right thing. I should buy my mama's house. I could get myself some nice things, or take a trip down south. Won't move to California, but I might change my sound. Don't say I didn't warn you, I left the country for the town. Whoa, 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 whoa. I wouldn't beg you to stay. Whoa, 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 whoa. You'd never do it anyway. Whoa, 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 whoa. If all I do is drag you down, whoa, whoa, whoa. Leave the country for the town. It's true I once adored you, Now you say I only bore you. You say the only thing that I do is stand still. Well, yeah, I'll sit and have a think. You could fix me some stiff drink. We could hike along those headwater hills. But then I hear your laughter, and it shakes me good and hard. How happily ever after was just never in the cards. How could I even blame you? You're always up when I'm down. So me, I'll keep the country, and you take the town. You take the town. Thanks so much.
It's Bahamas live from Metro Baltimore. Give it up for Afie another time.
Thanks a lot.
Absolutely gorgeous start to the evening here in Baltimore. I'm Tyler Laporte from 89.7 WTMD Baltimore. I'm really excited about tonight. I have been for a while. We've kind of had this under wraps and been working on it quite a bit. And what I'm so excited about is that Afie's music really has become part of the fabric of the sound of WTMD over the course of the years. You know, his first album, Pink Strat, came out in '09. And, you know, it was a record that just caught us off guard and really excited us. You know, so many great songs on there. And, you know, I love a good cover. So Whole Wide World is on there by Reckless Eric. But it was just this new, refreshing sound. And, you know, that was the debut album. And that's coming off of, it's funny you were singing in that last song, Leaving the Country for the Town, but it's actually the opposite way, right? A little bit. So your career started in Toronto, and that music scene, you were a multi-instrumentalist for a lot of folks, a producer for artists that you hear on WTMD all the time, like Feist, The Weather Station, we had a new song from this year, Kathleen Edwards. And then, you know, you've had this long career. The vibe has kind of been a through line in your records. And another city you went to for the last album, Bootcut, which is, I just loved it so much. I love that, you know, a lot of artists are kind of trying on their boots recently, you know, and doing a little country thing. And you worked with greats like Vince Gill, who's just a slayer on the guitar, and Sam Bush, of course, sure. You know, bluegrass legend. So you've been in busy cities making music, but you've gone the opposite for my second last album. So how did that kind of happen for you?
After I made that Bootcut record in Nashville in a big commercial studio with, like you said, all these wonderful musicians, I went home to Nova Scotia. I live on the far east coast of Canada, so if you went to Maine and just kept going and going and going and going and going, you'd get to where I live. And it's a lot like here, except for we don't have espresso machines or thin crust pizza or anything like that, but we got some nice amenities that... if you're like me, if you're dangerously comfortable with your own company, then it's a wonderful place to live. But yeah, I'm sort of lucky. I get to travel a lot and be in big cities, and just from being a musician, and then I get to go home and sort of have my cake and eat it too. But yeah, I went home and I was just all fired up from this recording session. I just wanted to keep working, and I wasn't even sure what I would work on. But I booked some studio time. There was a little place near my cottage that was about the size of a garden shed, and the guy Josh who runs it, he's a great producer and had a little drum kit and a piano, and I don't want to make it sound like a Bon Iver recording or something like that, but anyway, I booked some time in there and just thinking I would record some cover songs or maybe try some of the songs that we did in Nashville that maybe didn't work out so well. And once we started working, I just the juices just started flowing. So then I would go home at night and work on another song and finish that and go back the next day and we'd try that one. And it was a very sort of unintentional, organic approach. I didn't even tell my manager that I was recording. It was just the two of us sort of working away in the woods. and he played the drums and I played everything else, and we kind of just built the tracks up like using the power of modern technology.
Yeah.
Basically an iPhone.
That's cool. Yeah, it's funny, in Baltimore, I've talked to more and more a lot of artists here that really are doing sort of the same thing. Like they're taking care of everything except for drums.
Yeah.
And they've taught themselves to get the right plugins and
Right.
be able to just make a record that sounds like it's been created in, a very expensive studio.
Well, ironically, a lot of the best albums that you've heard are the same laptop that sends a Gmail is capable of capturing, Dave Grohl's voice at the best possible fidelity or whatever. So, yeah, the barrier to entry is just so much lower for people, for creators, for musicians. You know, the first, I know I'm very youthful looking, but believe it or not, I've been in the game for a while, and. When I first started recording, we recorded on big tape machines, big, heavy, big studios, and they were expensive and physically like these big reels of tape, and they were hundreds of dollars to just buy one reel of tape. So it was just a very, very different experience. Now, with recording in the more modern way, you can just do endless takes and endless tracks, and you just have a lot more options.
Yeah, I mean, this new album has definitely some energetic, even funky moments on it,
Whoa.
Well, I mean, even,
I didn't know you were allowed to use that word on public radio.
Even on the single that we're spinning right now, The Bridge, like in the video, you're playing bass, and it looks like you're having a blast, and it's just so fun to listen to, and it's a bouncy Bahamas song that just, like all of your music, at least for me, as a fan, I know I shouldn't be divulging this, the secrets of a fan who is actually on the radio, but that's my favorite part about being on the radio, is being a fan of all these artists and getting to share it with folks. But your music has really been a big part of my personal listening journey, because I've basically grown up into my 40s from my 20s with a lot of your music being the soundtrack to these wonderful core memories with all my friends who also love your music. So one of the things that's always drawn me to your music is this intimate feeling, this inviting feeling. You don't have to break through a wall. You're welcoming listeners into these albums. So just to touch back on the studio this time around, Dream Date. So did that allow you to open up in a different way, being kind of just secluded?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, nobody even knew that I was doing anything. So that, we had just made this album Bootcut in Nashville, and we had a plan to put it out, and, everyone's sort of mobilizing, and we're putting all this energy and resources into it. And all the while, I'm sort of quietly working on these other tunes. And frankly, it became a little bit confusing. By the time I was done recording, Bootcut still wasn't out. So then I kind of had two albums, and I was a little bit torn. Well, I mean, that's a luxurious position to be in for an artist or as a performer, I think a lot of people struggle to have material, and I sort of had a rare moment where I had seemingly a bounty of stuff. So anyway, it was exciting to do the Bootcut tour and get through all that, and we did a lot of interesting things on that tour. We played on the Grand Ole Opry, and I played on an episode of The Bachelor. It wasn't necessarily on my list of professional goals, but it was an interesting experience nonetheless. I'm not an actor, so it was a challenge. I think they tried to cut around me as much as possible, but.
So you did not get a rose?
What's that?
You did not get a rose?
I didn't get a rose, no. But they asked me at one point to give marital advice to this couple that had just met and landed in a helicopter on this island where we were playing, and I was like, my first advice would be like, don't start a relationship like this. But, anyway, that didn't make it to broadcast. Anyway, so we got to do a lot of fun stuff and a lot of traveling and playing music, and that was so fun. And the whole time I kind of had this other album in my pocket and just wondering what to do with it. So, often the things I want to do creatively, artistically, they happen very quickly and are very intuitive. And so if I get an idea and it feels exciting, I often act on it, because the truth is I don't have a ton of time to myself. I have 3 daughters at home, and I'm mostly concerned with what size of bicycle they might need at any given time, or, you know, whether or not we should let them watch K-pop Demon Hunter, things
It's
like
all
that.
the rage right now.
So anyway, all that to say is, for my own, the way that I make music and the way that I write, I've just become much, much more ruthless with the time that I do have, and that's, you know, goes from the writing and then into the recording. Everything just happens very, very quickly, and so, yeah, just ended up with this album and just thrilled that it's out now and I can play some of these songs and, you know, explore them further.
It's really great to have you back with this album. It's been a nice companion. What is it, a week now? It's been out, or 2 weeks?
It's been out a week, and literally dozens of people are excited about it.
I am one of them. And I know all these folks are too here at Metro Baltimore.
Right on.
So I'm not trying to steer this in any direction, but I just, while we're kind of talking about the new album and we're spinning the bridge, like I was saying, just a really fun tune, but you wrote that with MC Taylor from His Golden Messenger.
Yeah.
What was the impetus of that collaboration?
Again, it was sort of, we just discovered that we were mutual admirers of each other's work, and so we started texting during the lockdown years, and we were going back. He sent me a little idea, and I would work on it and send it back to him. We'd send these little voice memos back to each other, back and forth, and I didn't know if we were writing for him or writing for me or what we were doing. We were just kind of sharing ideas, which was, I don't know, it was just so refreshing and so different from in fact, I never really do any co-writing, so that was sort of a new thing, and it was exciting. And anyway, we ended up with this tune that was kind of all about having kids and just letting them make a bunch of mistakes and trying to encourage them to, you know, just put themselves out into the world and fall down and get up and fall down and get up, and all the confidence and how humbling and how empowering that can be, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a match made in heaven. I mean, you guys share sort of a similar sound, similar feel. And it's cool, too, that kind of the end of the bridge sort of has a mix between Canned Heat's Going Up the Country feel to it. And then also, there's even a little touch of a band that's really important to us in the history of rock and roll in Maryland, a band that recorded, I think, their best album in the Baltimore area, Feet Don't Fail Me Now, Little Feet. It even has a little Lowell George.
Is that right? I didn't know they did that here. That's cool.
Yeah,
yeah, it's amazing.
And wow. You know, there's all that. They kind of moved here, had kids here, started families, and they even built a studio on a floating barge in the harbor.
Wow. Is that close to the Whole Foods that I went to today?
Probably, yeah, right
Beautiful.
Around there. And then it ended up sinking because somebody didn't plug a bilge hole. And so there was this legend for a long, long time that there is this lost Little Feet record at the bottom of the Baltimore Harbor, which is not true, but we can hang on to that in our minds because that's the cooler story. But yeah, they're such a big part of music here in Maryland. So it's kind of cool to hear that in your sound.
Oh, that's
too.
amazing. That's amazing. Well, yeah, I'm a big fan, and you know, if I have an inkling of Lowell George in my voice, I'm flattered.
So sort of like Going Up the Country mixed with a Willin' there at the end.
And so then you can see with that description why the music business had such a hard time figuring out where to put me. Right?
So, I mean, while we have you, I mean...
Why don't I play the bridge for you?
How about it?
Hey? It's almost like we planned it.
It's Bahamas live on 89.7 WTMD Baltimore.
Take me to the bridge and let me walk upon the water. Take me to the bridge and let me walk upon the water. Oh, child, don't say sorry. Run wild, though I might worry. Let them go where they go. Let them find their own way. There's so much to be gained now in making your own mistakes. Take me to the bridge and let me walk upon the water, mama, now. And take me to the bridge and let me walk upon the water. Run free. So much to discover. You don't need me or your mother. Let them go where they go. Let them find their own way. I'm right here beside you to love and gently guide you. Take me to the bridge and let me walk along the water. Take me to the bridge and let me walk upon the water, mama, now. Take me to the bridge, walk upon the water. Why don't we try an older song here, and it still seems to work pretty good, but I'll try it for you now. Thank you so much for coming to this strange little event here. I'm enjoying it. We don't have anything like this in Canada, you know, so you should be very grateful, and it's awesome that you guys are supporting this, because yeah, it means a lot to me to be able to come down here and play. If I could only play in Canada, there'd be like 20 gigs. It'd be very tough to have a career in music, you know. So it really is. I'm just so grateful to be able to travel around. I was walking around town today, and I mean, I know you guys know this, but like, there's some insane buildings around here, and I always thought I was on magic mushrooms or something. I was like zooming in on these gargoyles on the top of buildings and being like, "Are you seeing this?" And I was totally alone. And I was like, people were stopping on the street and stuff, but anyway, just beautiful. So. Lost in the light, I pray for the night to take me, to take you to. After so many words, still nothing's heard. Don't know what we should do. And if someone could see me now, let them see you. Was my greatest thrill when we just stood still. You let me hold your hand till I had my fill. But even counting sheep don't help me sleep. I just toss and turn right there beside you. And if someone could see me now, let them see you. Let them see you through all the hard things we've all gotta do. 'Cause this life is long, so you wouldn't be wrong being free, leaving me on my own. I held my own, still I rattled your bones. I said some awful things, I'd take those things all back if we would try again. And just remember when, before we were lovers, I swear we were friends. So if someone could see me now, let them see you. Let them see you through all the hard things we've all got to do. 'Cause this life is long, so you wouldn't be wrong being free, leaving me on my own. Thanks so much. Man, could you imagine if I had like 12 songs of that caliber? Oh my God. I'd be doing like 6 nights at the Metro Theater or something. Let's do another song from this new album. It's about getting up early in the morning. I know. It's a skill, and anyone can develop. It's not something you're born with. And sometimes it's forced out of you, but I've found to really enjoy it, you know? It doesn't jive so well with playing at 10 o'clock at night in like a different time zone, but for the most part, it's pretty good. I've had a real nice time, but now I gotta say goodnight. Won't finish all my wine, I'll say I have an early flight. I know I'm not helping myself. No use being somebody else. I think you know what I mean. Made friends with 5 a.m. I'm doing things differently. Not who I was back then, but I'm not who I wanna be. I know I'm just hurting myself. No use being somebody else. I think you know what I mean. I get to thinking thinking from time to time again that I'm ready for a new thing. I get to thinking from time to time again that I'm ready for a new thing. Cha-cha-cha.
Bahamas live on WTMD and on NPR live sessions, View House, our YouTube page. We're even streaming audio of or video of this on the WTMD app. So thank you all for tuning in those ways. Thank you to everybody who's here with us at Metro Baltimore on Public Radio Music Day, a chance for us to shine a light on public media. Also, not just urban, not just here in cities, but our brothers and sisters out there in the rural areas all over this country who are such a public service to an important public service to the communities that they serve. And, we got funding secured for another 2 years thanks to the CPB, who may be on their way out, but they really helped us here this year. So with the cuts to federal funding, stations in the middle of America, or think places like in Alaska, where people are really relying on these stations that are few and far between for their culture, for news, for art, for music, and everything in between. So thank you for helping us shine a light on how important public media is. And, Afie, I just wanted to touch on, that part of your career. Your music really has had staying power and success in the AAA format, probably mostly for you. And that is a big part of a lot of those stations are public music stations. So since it is Public Radio Music Day, do you think you could share the impact that these stations have had on your career since '09?
Well, I think you did a good job of explaining it. I mean, for artists like me, that there's really, and I'm not blue about it, but there's really no chance for getting on commercial radio. There's nothing really like that. And like I said earlier, there's nothing in Canada that like AAA radio or even college radio. I mean, there's a few college stations left, but they certainly don't have the reach and the impact that stations like this one does. And so, I mean, I'm not exaggerating. It's really just given me a platform to go out and get in my Subaru Forester and come to places like Baltimore and lots of other places and tour and just, dare I say, spread the gospel the old-fashioned way, which is in a room with people like you guys. And so I'm just so grateful for that. And so I think it's great. Keep it going. More funding. Did you say CB, like Customs and Border Patrol are funding this?
Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
Okay. Well, you'll forgive my ignorance there. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't hear about that.
So, not anymore, but your Big Bird, your Mr. Rogers, all of that brought to you by the CPB. But yeah, it's so great to have an artist like you, Afie, that we have been able to watch the whole career. And, that is the whole point, at least for me as a public radio music programmer in AAA, is that it is our job to give artists like you a platform, and also not just for one record, but stick with you through the whole thing, because people who listen to stations like WTMD want to know the story, want to stay with you, are interested in your path and staying on that path with you. So, and then we do break artists that end up being huge pop musicians. Think Teddy Swims, think, I don't know, Role Model right now is another one. And this is a jumping off point for artists. And we are trying to do our best for you to be able to have a life making art.
I love it.
You know, like Brittany Howard from the Alabama Shakes, when their first album came out, she was still working for the Postal Service here in the U.S. So, you know, I'm not saying it's all on us, but stations like us fall in love with these musicians and are able to at least help jumpstart a career, you know. And so, man, we're ride or die.
That means the world
for
to me.
Bahamas.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Just a few quick things. You know, we heard a couple from the new record in that set or that break there. And you cover a lot of themes on it, like you said, waking up early, and some others, and we'll get to that. But I wanted to touch on that there was a chance that this record was just going to get shelved. What turned that around for you?
Is that public knowledge?
It was in the press kit.
Well, you'll forgive me for not getting high on my own supply. I didn't know that was out there. I mean, it's more just like that's more of a music business thing. You know what I mean? Like, I think, as I said earlier, I'm just so, as cliche as it sounds, you know, living in the moment, especially creatively. The things that I'm working on now are you know, for me, the most exciting thing. That might not necessarily be true of the fan base. You know, a lot of people here, I'm sure, like maybe a song I did 10 years ago or something, and that's a song that really means a lot to them, and that's enough of a reason to make time out of your day and buy a ticket and come to a show and everything. But yeah, for me, creatively, I'm always kind of just moving faster, it seems, than the business would allow. I would like to know how all these hip-hop artists, they seem to like record a track and it comes out the same day. So I don't know, I'd like to, you know, the guys from my label could take a page out of that book, but
Gotta get on TikTok, man.
Like I said, this album was recorded so close to the other one, and so there was just like a window there where I started to doubt it. I just started to think, geez, maybe this work isn't strong enough, and I should actually like take this somewhere else and re-record it, or I should write new songs. And I think, like with anything, if you are left alone with your own thoughts, sometimes you can start to question everything. And so it was nice to kind of step away from it for a few months and then you know, hear it again and think to myself, actually, this is quite strong. I think I want to put this out. This is actually an album. This isn't just me jamming. This actually has a cohesive narrative arc, and it has a dare I say, vibe. Probably the most overused word, but it has a feeling from it from start to finish, and I try to have that. I try it for all the albums to have that. I'm not sure if everyone listens to music that way anymore, but I certainly do. I like putting on an album and just listening to the whole thing, and often it's track 7 or 8 that become your favorite tune, just because you know, and you probably wouldn't have discovered those if it weren't for that you know, way of making things and the way of listening things. So yeah, I don't know. It's I think even songs like "Lost in the Light," you know, that was a song that I wasn't going to put on my album. I thought, nah, that doesn't really belong on this album. And my manager was really sort of like, dude, that's the best song you've ever, that's the best one. Why would you not put that out? You know what I mean? I was thinking about it more artistically and thematically, and he was just like, that's a banger. We should get it out there. People like slow, boring music. They'll like that. And he was right. So it's nice to have good counsel and good, you know, good people in your corner giving you good advice, but yeah, more than anything, it's just as long as I can feel connected to the songs, you know, and I can still sing "Lost in the Lights" and still sing some of these, you know, newer songs and just still find myself in them, and that's all I ever want to do. So it's sort of a challenge, but it's sort of a private challenge, and it's somewhat difficult to talk about. But it's like some days you look in the mirror and you don't recognize what you see, right? And a lot of making music is like that. And I think most artists and creative people will agree. You sometimes you have to squint with your ears, called squeering. and in order to hear yourself and find yourself in the music as time goes on, you know. But anyway, it's a process I enjoy.
Well, thank you for giving it the time to breathe.
Yeah.
And going back to it, because, I mean, again, my second last album, not mine, Afie's, is a really great listen. And I'm going back to now kind of the themes on the album. We heard the anti-rock star waking up early song. So that's covered. Government shadiness, of course. What else?
You guys have any of that in this country? Or?
Haven't been paying attention.
No.
Social media also comes up. And of course, what would an album be without Henry Ford being brought up? But I think for this time that we're living in, and this speaks to no matter where you are in this world, I think the biggest message comes on the final song on the album. We all belong in this country.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, you know, being in the music community, we certainly belong with each other, but, you know, I think now more than ever, like, we should be embracing our neighbors and people who are trying to come to a place for a better life. And that may be the right way or the wrong way, but you know, people are just trying to survive, and I think a song like that is great for now because that's just so important. I mean, that's what this country is built on, is give us you're tired, give us your poor, you know?
Right.
So I'm just really interested how you kind of came to that song. I know you're a child of immigrants to Canada, so did that play into the lyrics of that song a little bit?
I think maybe retroactively there's some of that in there. I think, I think it's more about just that feeling of loving where you're at. And I'm sure there's people who are from Baltimore and they can't think of any other place in the world that they would rather be. Am I wrong? Right? And if I'm being totally honest, I have never felt that in all the places I've lived. And I've been almost jealous of people. Like there's this place that I go fishing in Nova Scotia. It's called Antigonish. It's got a very weird name. But I know guys there that they love Antigonish. They don't want to be in anywhere else, you know? They don't want to be in New Zealand. They don't want to be in Montana fishing. They want to be fishing behind the mall in Antigonish. And they feel it in their core, in their bones. And and it's just like, I think, let everyone be so lucky, you know? But yeah, I had this idea that I was starting from that place, and I was thinking about these things. Like my wife's grandmother, who sadly passed away this year at 102, she's Japanese, and she was in internment camps in Canada during the Second World War. Her whole family, among many other thousands of Japanese Canadians, and after the war, they were given a choice. They said, you can go back to Japan or you can stay here. And almost all of them were like, well, we're Canadians. Like, you know, they chose to be Canadians, and especially coming out of this experience that I think very few of us could, you know, really understand or relate to. So just things like that were just so powerful. And really, it is an active decision to love and be involved in where you are and make that place better. And as cheesy as it sounds, it starts with the simplest, smallest things, you know, just picking up the trash in front of your house and being kind to people and just being involved in where you live. It's so important. And yeah, my mom, you know, not under the war circumstances, but she left Finland. She was one of 13 kids, and she's the only one of her siblings that left Finland. And she thought about America, no offense. And she thought about Australia and you know, but when she was living in Finland, they didn't have garlic or blue jeans or anything like that. And she said, I gotta go. You know, the life for me is somewhere else. And she chose to become Canadian. And I don't know, there's just something there that I just found really moving and really compelling. And certainly there's some of that definitely made it into the song, you know. And I wish that I would be in a position to play that song for you now. But it is so slow and
no, I wasn't trying to push you there either, but I wanted to touch on that.
I feel like I'm talking about it quite eloquently, and now it's like, geez, I would love to be able to just, the proof is in the pudding, as they say, but you guys will play it on public radio.
That's right.
Right?
All right, so we have a little time left. How about we do one more song, come back, and wrap things up, and then we'll have you play us out. Again, it's Bahamas live from Metro Gallery here in Baltimore on 89.7 WTMD on Public Radio Music Day.
Only ever stood in the shadows of love. Only ever stood in the dark. Only ever knew what you wanted me to. A fire never reaching a spark. Let me down easy if you're letting me go. Let me think that love never ends. I could never be what you wanted from me, but let me think that we can be friends. Oh, hey, hey, now, mama, I could use a friend right now. Oh, hey, hey, now, mama, let me feel it all somehow. I only ever stood in the shadows of love. Only ever stood in the dark. I only ever knew what you wanted me to. A fire never reaching a spark. Oh, hey, hey, now, mama, I could use a friend right now. Oh, hey, hey, now, mama, let me feel it all somehow. Thanks so much.
Another lovely tune courtesy of Bahamas. Here at Metro Baltimore, I'm Tyler Laporte from WTMD Baltimore 89.7. Thanks again for everybody who's here in person, and thanks to everybody who's joining us through our streaming video and on air as well. This has been a really special evening, Afie. I really appreciate you being here. So,
thank you.
This again is all part of Public Radio Music Day. Again, a nationwide celebration, uniting public radio stations, lawmakers, fans like you, and other members of the music industry. And we're just hoping to spread the word about how special non-commercial music radio stations play, not in the music industry. Locally, of course, we have such a wonderful music scene here in Baltimore, so give it up for that. And all these great national and international artists that we get to feature on WTMD, like Bahamas, really are a big part of our sound and why you support this station. So thank you. You can always make a pledge at WTMD.org/donate. And so thank you again, Afie.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And a big thank you to Metro Baltimore for having us tonight. It's kind of a dream of mine to get to see one of my favorite artists and do a show here. It's It's a place I really love coming and catching local acts and really helping them get up on the first Thursday stage, just seeing them here for the first time and being able to see them or envision them being up on that stage every summer down in Canton Waterfront Park. Thank you to Goose Island Beer Company, the Non-Com Music Alliance, and I want to thank everybody at Baltimore Public Media who helped put this together. We couldn't have done it without each other, so I know this was a big one for us, so I'm glad we got to make that happen. Also, thanks to all the volunteers who came out today to help us. And coming up next on WTMD, Izzy Bavis will be here with you from 7 o'clock until 10. So have a great time with Izzy. While we have you here, would you like to play us to the top of the hour?
Let's do it.
All right, it's Bahamas for another song here on Public Radio Music Day on 89.7 WTMD, listener-supported radio for music people.
Darling, I would love to see. I wonder what the world could be if you would only give to me half your love. But I don't need the whole damn case. Most of it can go to waste. Yeah, I just need a little taste of half your love. Your love, I fought to get you. Half your love, ever since I met you. Half your love is twice as much as I'm ever gonna need. People say that less is more. Mama, less is what I'm fighting for. And honey, you could end this war with half your love. Say that it's good to wait. I don't wanna wait for goodness sake. I promise I would only take half your love, half your love, half your love. Thanks, Baltimore.